My name is Emily, and today I'm going to be talking about building the love. It's one of my favorite topics, and it's about infusing love for what you do into your business and into your practice. So just a little bit about me. I went to design school, and I was a designer for about 3 to 5 years, and I quickly realized I sucked at it, and I transitioned to be on the business end of design, and I ran a design studio. And quickly I realized that I was really great at it, and I loved doing what I did, and I managed clients and projects and staff. And so what I did is I became a consultant. I've been a consultant for 30 years. I work with awesome design firms across the world now. And I help them elevate their business through staff management, new business management, pricing, proposals, all kinds of things to help them elevate their business to the next level and to evolve. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to evolve your business through love. And love is all about connections. It's not really passion, so we're not talking about passion. We're talking about just building connections, one-on-one connections, and making sure that people love you and you show and express that love. And so this is not about passion. That's a whole other topic. And I'm not sure I can even talk about that, but I will talk to you about building the love. And first, you must love yourself. That's really important, because if you don't like yourself and if you don't believe in yourself, then that's going to shine through. And people are going to feel that insecurity. And I can't work with you on that today. So if you don't really like yourself, work on that first, because before you can love your practice, you sort of have to really love yourself. So that's the first start. The second thing is you have to love your business vision. And a lot of us don't have a vision. We don't know where our business is going. We're allowing our clients or even our staff to take us in a certain direction. First, you have to define your vision for yourself, believe in it, and absolutely love it. That will give you, if you don't know who you are and where you're going, then you're going to make wrong decisions along the way. So make sure that you love yourself and your vision before you move forward. And then lastly, finally, you have to love everybody you work with. If you have nasty clients or if you have a problem staff member, then that love is going to get diffused. So make sure that you love everybody you work with. And then that is how you have a strong foundation. And in business, love is reflected in lots of different ways. The first way is in your culture. Are people happy? And culture is not a ping pong table in the corner. It's not having a book club or yoga. It's paying them well. It's respecting their values, listening to their opinions, letting them have a voice at the table, right? And it's collaboration in a way that's not without decision makers. So it's really look at your culture and say, is it healthy? Is it one that people want to come to every day? That's really important. So look at your culture. So many firms spend a lot of time building extraneous things towards culture that have no value. I have a funny example of that. I don't want to mention names, but I knew of an agency who had Fridays, summer Fridays. Now, in my opinion, summer Fridays are having a half day off. Their summer Fridays was a half day where you can work anywhere you wanted. So they still had to work. It was still a half day. Already, that's diffusing the culture. Then one day they decided, they lived in California, and they decided they'd have a beach day for the staff. Staff was super excited. They're all going to go to the beach. That Thursday night before they went to the beach, the company said, okay, we're going to be at the beach from 9 to 12, and then everybody has to come back to the office. Literally, they said this, back to the office to work. So what happened is that actually did the opposite of building culture. People were furious. They had to go to the beach. They were going to go drink. They were going to have fun. Then they had to go back to work. That was not really well thought out. So think about any kind of decisions you make around your culture. Daily interactions, how people talk to each other, engage with each other. Really important. What are the daily interactions like? Have clearly defined reporting procedures. Who approves things? Who looks at things? How do you communicate with each other? The tone of voice, how you say things. I have a tendency, and you'll notice this throughout the talk, to be very brutally honest and direct, but I couch that with love. So when I say something that's tough, it's always with a smile on my face, and they know I care, and it's important to them, and it's important to me as I speak. So how you talk to people is also building the love. And that means talking to your clients, talking to staff, talking to your Uber driver. Anybody that you talk to, you should be really building the love and showing respect and value. A lot of this stuff may seem obvious to you, but in working with firms across the country, I realize it's not always as obvious as it seems. Then body language. I have a tendency to do this a lot. Does that look familiar? And that puts people off. So think about how you use your body to communicate love. As long as you're open and warm. So I went to a meeting once, I'll never forget this. I was facilitating a large business retreat, and there were about 15 people around a conference table, and the CMO stood on a higher stool than anybody else. And clearly that sent a message like he was in power. And so when I called him on and he said he had a bad back, I didn't necessarily believe that, and I made him sit down in a chair so that he can feel as part of the team. So even just how your body language really, really reflects a lot about how you value the team and how you value everybody around you. And then the work. You absolutely have to love your work, and I'm going to talk about that. But the work you do is going to show the love. If you're doing work you don't love, it's going to show. And lastly is pricing. Pricing is critical. Your prices, if they're too low, will not show that you value your own self and your own firm. And that's not going to show the love. If you value yourself at a certain price point and with ample financial value, that's going to show value equals love, value equals respect. So the more you price, the higher you price yourself, the more you show that you truly value and love what you do. So I'm going to give you some strategies to build the love in your company. Okay, the first thing, and you can tell this from probably meeting me if you've ever met me or seeing me speak, is to be authentic. You have to be you. Just do you. Be yourself. Too many people are trying to put on a veneer of professionalism or a veneer of somebody that they aren't. And that clearly can be detected. So just be you. When I meet people, because I'm a New Yorker, right? And so I'm super direct, I speak fast, and I'm brutally honest. I also curse a lot. So I usually tell people that when I first meet them. I say that I'm brutally honest. Matter of fact, that's the name of the book, a whole other story. And I'm very direct with people. So I let them know that in advance. And I say, look, I'm doing this to communicate clearly. This is who I am. But I do this with love, that I care about you. So just embrace who you are and just be you. That's really important. If you put a veneer on, people are going to detect that. I used to work with somebody who was always a little bit fake. She just had this fakeness to her, and she, with a smile, but you could tell she wasn't herself in the professional environment. And there was some level of distrust because she was fake. And she kept losing projects, and I'm pretty sure that's why. Okay, so also, besides loving what you do, you have to love and show what you do. So a lot of people, they sort of love what they do, but they don't always show it. And when I mean show it, it should be in every communication you've ever sent out, in how you talk about your firm or what you do, really should shine through that love. So when I talk to people, I'm always talking about all my clients and how much I love them, all the great stories I get from that. I share it on my website. It's amazing to me how few designers show their best work on their websites. They often are outdated. My funniest story is, so many funny stories, but whenever I ask designers what they do for new business, or when they updated their website, first of all, when they say what they do for new business, they always say, oh, my website does that. That's a whole other talk. But when I ask them, when was the last time they updated their website? It's usually, and I swear, it's always 2 years. 2 years from when they really updated the website. And so that's not showing more current work. It's not showing your current staff. It's not talking about the current pivot in your business. So really, when you talk about your firm, show the love in any way you can. Even if you're at conferences, you should have some sort of handout that shows that, what kind of work you do or how much you love your business. That's the first strategy. The second thing is to make your clients look good. If you don't make your clients look good, they are not going to want to work with you. And what do I mean by that? That means do work that they are proud of, but not only that, give them the tools to look good internally among their own team. And what does that mean? That means, of course, giving them the tools to talk about the work. So if they're presenting the work internally without your input, so if you presented the work to them and then they have to present it to other people, perhaps you give them a script to say, here's why design decisions were made. So make sure that your clients are looking good internally by giving them clean presentations, telling them how the concepts were built so they have a way to talk about it, making sure that you are just giving them engaging content that they can share internally. By meeting deadlines and budget, you also make them look good, right? So make your clients look good and they're going to love it. They're going to talk about how great you are because you've made them look good. And also you have to do truly great work that has measurable impact. And what do I mean by that? Well, measurable impact means how has it impacted the business? The ROI, return on investment. So when you talk about your work, it's not just about how I have this great illustration style or I have great typography or I just solved my client's problems. You have to prove it. And how do you prove that you've solved your client's problems? It's usually through client testimonials, which isn't really enough because client testimonials can be rewritten in a way that maybe isn't authentic, right? How many of you have asked your clients for testimonials? They are too lazy or too busy to write their own and they ask, oh, can you write it? I've been to so many websites where the testimonials all sound like it comes from the same voice. That's because the design studio has written them and they just had the client put their name to it. Instead, try to get authentic testimonials. But more importantly, get really good metrics, success metrics. How did you impact their business? And usually that's some sort of quantitative data. So you should be shouting that kind of data and those kind of really great stories from the rooftops. Anytime you meet with people, you should be talking about that. That shows that you love and value who you work with and what you do. So make sure you're shining through with all these wonderful stories. Everybody, we all have these great stories. And one thing I would say about metrics is a lot of designers are a little bit modest and they feel like they can't necessarily own all the success. That's really true, but if you had some little contribution, that's enough. You could show, and this goes back to being prideful of your clients and making them look good, by saying, I maybe didn't contribute all of it, but I'm really proud of our clients for doing this one thing. Like if you worked for a restaurant, if they were in business for more than 2 years, that's a great metric because restaurants always fail within the first 2 years. Now that's not all due to you, but you had some say in the matter. You helped contribute to that through the branding, right? So really think about how you have measurable impact, shine, and make sure those stories are really shining through, and that builds the love. You should be demonstrating your value at all interactions. And this goes back to all the things I just talked about, body language, how you talk to somebody. So make sure that when you're engaging with somebody, you're really showing that you have value in everything you do. So you shouldn't be allowing people to disrespect you. You should be respecting yourself and respecting others, and that will build the love. So think about your daily interactions and make sure that you're building love in that and you're showing value. So talking about those stories that I just mentioned, just talking about how great your clients are and how proud you are of all the work and all your staff, that really shows the love. Okay, designers, you have to be reliable. There's a lot of you out there, not all of you. I have a tendency to make a little bit of generalizations. They're not as always reliable. We tend to miss deadlines. We don't necessarily return phone calls or emails on time. So really think, am I reliable? Because if you're reliable, they will trust you and value you, and you'll have built an advocate. If you're unreliable and you do great work, they're still not going to come back to you. So you have to be reliable. And so one story I always tell people when I'm talking is there's something about designers and returning emails. I don't know what it is, but they are sort of prideful of the fact that they don't return emails, and they have 10,000 emails that are still unread. That is not being reliable. That's the opposite of building the love. So you should have a zero inbox. You should have responded to all your client communications within 48 hours to show respect, to show that you value the relationship, and to be reliable. And don't send people direct messages on Instagram or Twitter. That is not professional. I get on a daily basis constant messages from my clients on Instagram. And that's kind of crazy because then I can't kind of track where all my messages are. Put them all in one place. If it's on Slack, whatever tool you use, that's great. But do not use social media to send your messages. But be reliable. Meet your deadlines. Actually, be in advance of your deadlines. Make them look good. And you have to communicate face-to-face. Now, I know this is hard during the days of COVID, but there is video chat, right? So as much as possible, even though we're sick of Zoom, it's really important to make that one-to-one connection. We have a tendency as creatives to avoid conflict like the plague. And we have a tendency to write a lot of emails that can get a little passive-aggressive. I know it's really hard, but if you make the effort to speak to somebody one-to-one, face-to-face, that will build the love and the trust because people will not be passive aggressive back to you because you're being direct and honest right to their face. And they'll see the emotion that's shining through. They'll see the impact of their, if whatever you're talking about, the impact of their misbehaving or whatever on you. So as much as possible, you should really be engaging with your clients one-to-one. And what I mean by that is it's not only when you're working with them, which you should be doing pretty much on a daily basis, but maybe you just check in once a week just to say hi. Not to talk about business, but to say, hey, I was just thinking about you. And you want to build that kind of love with your clients and trust. So when I was on vacation recently, I was in Australia for 3 weeks, and I remembered a client of mine had surgery. So I simply sent her an email saying, I wanted to know how surgery went. She was like so impressed, and I was not doing that for any other reason than I really truly cared about her. But that I was on vacation and asked about her surgery meant a lot to her. So make sure that you're thinking about your clients at all times, and you're reaching out one-to-one. And so that means when you're presenting, it should not be just sending them a presentation. You should actually schedule a meeting or a video chat to present in person. So you can connect through your body language and through your voice and through that, and that love will shine through in that way. Love does not shine through email. And you have to support everybody you know and recognize their achievements. So when your clients do something amazing, you should shout it from the rooftops. So when my clients are speaking, or when they have written some content, or when they got promoted, I often send that out in social media to say, I'm so proud of my clients for achieving this thing, right? So you should send them an email and say, I'm so proud of you for, whatever happened, or congratulations, your wedding. Whatever it is, connect with your clients and recognize their achievements. So whenever my clients are pregnant, or when they have a big moment in their lives, or if they have a conference they're going to or they're speaking at, I put it in my calendar so I remember it, because as I get older, I sometimes forget. So my calendar is my Bible, and each day I'll look to say, what is my clients doing? And I'll connect back with them to ask them how they are. So if my client was having a baby, I'll check in 2 months later to say, how did it go? What kind of baby, what was your gender? How was the birth? And I do that not inauthentically. I actually really do care about my clients, and I actually love baby pictures. So the more baby pictures everybody can send me, the better. And I really, really care about my clients' lives. And that really shines through. That shows that I care about them. And then in return, when I have challenges in my life, they will care about me. So as much as possible, recognize your clients' achievements and stay in touch with them on a personal basis. That doesn't mean getting too close. It just means having enough information that you can connect with them human to human. Because if you do that, they will become your advocate. So if you make a mistake, and we all make mistakes, they will forgive you. You should laugh as much as you can, smile, and just say hi. How many of us have gone in pools or Uber pools, and have never said hi to people? I actually love opportunities just to engage with people. It's just strangers. I've met wonderful people that way, and they've turned into clients that way. So you should be humorous and loose and friendly and just you all the time. As much as possible, try to smile. I know women hate being told by men to smile. I do too. But you should just be happy and not a forced happy. Because if you're not happy, then that, again, if you have a frown on your face, or if you have kind of a mug on your face, that doesn't show love. So as much as possible, start the day as best as you can on a good footing, and really try to embrace challenges in a way that's kind of with a little bit of laughter. Right now, especially during COVID, it's very challenging, right? But we all have to know that we're going to get through this, and it'll be okay, right? Rather than looking at the negative, I try as much as I can to look at the positive. So try to put a smile on your face and laugh as much as you can. Be confident. If you are weak, or if you show lack of confidence, that also can be easily detected. And that's when the clients manipulate you, and that's when the clients kind of don't realize the value of what you do. So don't present anything you're not confident in. Don't talk about anything you're not confident in. Don't praise that in a way that's you're not confident. If you're not confident, that love will get diffused. So be confident in how you talk to your clients, in what you present, how you price, how you talk about your business. But that does not mean cocky. Confidence and cockiness is very different, right? So just the subtleness is quite important. You don't want to be a prima donna, but you want to be confident in what you do, and value in who you are, who your team is, and what they do, and what they provide to your clients. And you should own up to your mistakes. This is a big one. And for most people, they have trouble owning up to their mistakes and saying, I know this sounds crazy, but you're sorry. Right? If you're a human being, we all, like I said, we all make mistakes, and we should apologize for them and say, here's what we're going to do to fix it. Right? So just think about, at the end of every day, did I say I'm sorry at least once? It's a really good checklist in your head, like, did I apologize for this one thing? I am a brutally honest person, as I said, and sometimes my mouth gets a little too big and I say things that I shouldn't. I say that possibly with a smile, possibly with laughter, but I still said it and I shouldn't have. That's my mistakes usually. Usually my mistake is something I say. And so at the end of the day, I'm thinking, did I say something that was inappropriate and should I apologize? Right? And that apology goes a long way. That doesn't mean that you allow yourself to make these mistakes all the time. So I'm learning, and I still learn this, how to, tailor what I say. But every morning I'm always a little bit like, what am I going to say today that's going to be embarrassing? It's just who I am. But each of us does different things to make mistakes. We just simply do. This is what we do. We might miss a deadline. We might have a typo. Whatever it is, just simply say, I'm really sorry. I will fix this. This is how I'm going to fix it. Right? If we can own our mistakes, then we allow our clients to also own up to their mistakes. So just think about that and say you're sorry once in a while. It's perfectly okay. And take risks. Risks are fantastic. They move us forward. They are a little scary, but if we don't take risks, we'll always stay stagnant. So think about moving forward. How can I constantly elevate what I'm doing, who I'm working with, and the kind of work I'm doing? So take those risks. They'll really pay off in the end. And that, again, builds the love because you're constantly looking for what's next. Be honest. As you probably can tell, I'm a big believer in that. So be as honest as you possibly can. Be direct with people. Tell them what you're feeling. Tell them if they're misbehaving. You don't have to say it in a nasty way, but if you're honest with your feelings and honest with your relationships, they will in turn be honest back with you. So whenever I talk to people, this is kind of my running joke, I always have this magic answer to any of my clients' problems. And it's always about communication. And I'm going to talk about that next, or coming up. But communication's key. So being honest in your communications is really critical. Say thank you. Seems a little obvious, but I don't get a lot of thank yous from my clients. And the more thank yous I get, then I know they love me, and I will do whatever I can to help them. Those clients that don't thank me, I don't think I'm as helpful. And I think that's really important. So just saying thank you to all the people that you work with, to your staff on a daily basis, to your clients, to the people that are, just on, when I do interviews for new hires, one of my tests is usually for the second interview, I will take them out for a cup of coffee. And I like to see how they engage with the people that serve them. Do they say thank you? Right? Because that, again, shows love and shows respect and shows value. So say thank you as much as you can and as often as you can. It's really powerful. Stay in touch with people. They will forget about you. And the way you build love is to know that you're out there, right? I've been in the industry for a really long time, and I know a lot of people, but I try to stay in touch with everybody I possibly can, simply to reach out to remind them I'm here and to show that I care about them. And I find this moment in time right now, coronavirus, really interesting about this. So many of my clients are calling me, people I haven't spoken to in years, or people I just never worked with but have known through the industry, are just reaching out and saying, hey, there's no new business there, there's no reason other than they truly care. And I'm doing the same thing. And we should be doing those practices even not during a time of crisis. We should constantly be reaching out to all the people we know and adore to just say hi. Because people will forget about you. They get busy with their lives, and there's nothing personal. We just get busy, and we sometimes forget that people are out there. So just reminding them that you're there is really critical, and it builds the love. So that might be an email blast once a quarter. It might be you call people once a week. Just, you go through your mailing list and say, these are the 100 people I want to reach out to this month or this year. And you just reach out to them and just say hi. No new business, no intention. It's just to say hello. I was thinking about you. Or I went to this conference, or I read this article. So I travel a lot for speaking, and I'm on, a lot of flights, and they have all those magazines, and I'm constantly reading the magazines, and I almost always see an article in the magazine that relates to what my clients are doing for some reason. Somewhere they traveled, or an industry that they're working with. And so I'm always, either taking a photo of it or cutting out the article and sending it to a client and saying, hey, I read this article and was thinking of you. This might be relevant to you. So I'm always trying to show that I love them by staying in touch. Really important. I think a lot of times we get so busy with our lives, fighting all these fires and fighting kind of just all these moments in time, that we forget about all these wonderful relationships we've built in the past. So stay in touch. And when you build the love, and these are all the things you should be doing, a lot of wonderful things happen. Clients will advocate for you. If they love you, you love them. They will defend you when you make a mistake. They will promote you when they need to. They will talk about how much they love you and how much they adore you. If you haven't built the love and you've just did a great project, it doesn't have as much impact. And they will send you thank you notes. This is a true test. If you actually get an email or a thank you note after the project's over, you know you've built the love, 100%, right? So those clients are showing their love through a thank you note, right? So that might be a test. If you're not getting thank you notes, maybe you need to be doing something else to build the love. And then when you've built the love, when the clients move around, which they do, they get promoted, they get to a new job, they know other people, they're going to bring you along wherever they go, to a new company or a new position. They're going to recommend you to others. So if you've built the love, they will recommend you to others. Now, a lot of you say, well, I get my business through referrals. But I want to look deep at those referrals. If those are referrals are because you're cheap, or because for something else that's not about love and not about value, then you're sending out the wrong messages. So just because you have a lot of people referring you doesn't necessarily meaning you're building the love. If they're recommending you to clients that don't value as much or don't do great work, then the people that are referring you aren't necessarily valuing you. And if you built the love, a lot of times you'll be the only firm that they're considering. That's another great sign of building love. If they know they only want to work with you, no matter what your price is, or if you even negotiate, they'll negotiate with you if they love you. So a great test to know if you're building the love is if a client says to you, you're not charging enough because we could be a pain in the neck, or this project's going to be a pain. If they defend you and advocate for you and push back and say your prices are too low, that definitely is a sign that you built the love. But even if your prices are too high, if they love you, they'll tell you, hey, your price is a little too high. We definitely want to work with you. Let's figure this out, right? So that's a really good test if you built the love. They'll ask your opinion and value it. So not only will they ask your opinion, but they will actually listen to it and share that opinion with everybody else. And they'll make sure that they credit you. So some clients just want your opinion and then take that ownership themselves. The clients that really, where you've built the love and the value and the trust, will obviously credit you. So those clients that are asking your opinion and really value it and listen to it, those are the ones you're building the love. So these are really great tests to see if you're building the love. And staff. Staff may leave, and they always will leave. It's very hard to keep staff these days. There's other great opportunities, there's better pay, they move around, right? That's what happens. Don't get upset about it. But if you built the love, either of two things will happen. They may come back. I've seen that happen many times where, somebody that they started their career at a firm, then they went to a bunch of other firms, and they went back to that firm after they've had years of experience to say, you were my best company, I loved working with you, can we work together again, right? They will then also refer others to you. So they might not come back, but they'll tell everybody else how great you are. Or potential candidates will just be running to you. Most of my clients who have built the love, they have a huge amount of people that are just reaching out to them, not just only because they do great work, but because they look like nice human beings and they sound like nice human beings and they want to work with people that value them, right? So if they hear, and look, our industry is super incestuous and super small. We know which companies have the bad cultures, which ones don't value their team, which ones don't pay enough. We all speak to each other, right? So if you pay your staff well, if you built a good culture, that reputation will build and will flourish, and you'll have people coming to you by the droves. Staff will spread the word about your firm. But there are some challenges with love, so here's some warnings. The first one is a lot of times because we love what we do, we might price too low. We undervalue ourselves. So this has to go hand in hand. Love and the confidence, the pricing, all go hand in hand. We need to price ourselves at a value that we absolutely show that we value and love ourselves, but not too low that says, hey, I love what I do and I'll give it away. A lot of us do that. You might do work that doesn't fit your vision. So this is about what I stated in the very beginning. If we don't know who we are and where our company is going and what kind of clients we want to work for, what kind of projects we want to do, what type of industries, what kind of aesthetic, all kinds, if we don't make decisions about who we are, then all those decisions along the way will be kind of made without really any vision. So I sometimes find that the trouble with vision, trouble with love is that you will do things simply because you love the client or the person, but not the work. So we sometimes make decisions based on love that gets us the wrong kind of work, lower prices, working with clients that we don't necessarily want to work for, or staying with clients that we should have fired a long time ago, right? Many of us have clients that we love. They're really nice people, but the work is no longer portfolio worthy or no longer fun to do or doesn't price as well as it should be. Right? We all have those clients, but because we love them human beings, we love them as humans, we have a tendency to stay on with them. So think about that. Think about kind of the challenges with love and make sure that it doesn't impact your business. And sometimes, not always, we cross the line between professional and personal. So just be careful of that. We love our clients a little bit too much. And then we build relationships with them, maybe that are a little bit not professional. I have a client that often goes out drinking with his clients. I don't think that's the greatest idea. Obviously, things happen and relationships get built, but just be careful that we have still a professional relationship, but we still do ourselves and be our own. So we want to kind of have a combination of both being who we are, but as professional as possible without making us crossing the line from professional to personal. And I love this quote. It's from the Knicks, the book The Knicks. Love, when freely given, duplicates and multiplies. So think about that when you're building the love. Really important. And this is just my book. I just wrote a book about 2 years ago, so it's not so new. It's called Brutally Honest, an obvious title. I'm really proud of this book. It's like 9 colors. It's on gorgeous, like super fine Mohawk paper. It's just like lots of information graphics. I think you'll love it. I'm hoping you'll check it out. And stay in touch with me on social media. I constantly am talking about where I'm speaking and what I'm doing, and I just love following everybody else. So please stay in touch, and thank you.